Hi. From the title of this, you can kind of guess what it's going to be about. I just have some opinions and thoughts that are completely speculation and have no bearing in the truth, but I kind of wanted to express them in case they came true because honestly, probably November, December of last year, I had a dream, this really weird, vivid dream, and part of it was that Jeffree and Nate broke up. Um, and I remember telling a coworker about it after, and she was like, "Oh, that's wild, like they're such a good couple, blah, blah, blah." And then lo and behold, January rolls around, and what? They're broken up. So maybe I'm psychic or something. But I don't know. So that aside, uh, I've been seeing so much support for Jeffree and kind of a lot of people saying how Nathan is like suing him potentially or like using him. And even in his most recent video, his assistant said something along the lines of crazy the things you do for people and what they do in return. Um, Now, I could say a million good things about Jeffree Star. I actually saw him in concert probably 8 or 9 years ago now. I touched his leg. It was the softest leg that I've ever touched in my entire life, so thank you, Jeffree. um, I have nothing against him, obviously. I don't know him as a person, and honestly, I like his content. But I do want to make some points in defense of Nate because I don't think it's just about a car. I think a car is kind of the tip of the iceberg of the things that Nate is trying to get out of Jeffree. If you recall, back in January when he made the We Broke Up video, he said that Nathan and his family were living in a house they bought in Michigan. Which I would assume Nathan is also fighting for. And honestly, I kind of think he is entitled to. I don't think their relationship was fake. A lot of people are saying that he faked the whole thing and that he was just in it for the money. I don't think that's true. I do think after their dogs, I can't remember the names, died back in the summer, there was quite a shift. And so people who are saying, "Oh, Nathan's moving on so quickly and how dare he," and blah, 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 I think he was out of the relationship mentally for a long time before he was physically, and which makes moving on quickly easier if you already are prepared for it to end. Whereas I think Jeffree was not. He thought Nathan was his soulmate and his forever partner, which understandably he thought that. Bringing it back to what Nathan is most likely fighting for, I would not be surprised if it was some sort of monetary settlement and or the house, at least in Michigan, that his family is living in. And considering they got together before Jeffree made millions and, became this giant entrepreneur, I do think he's entitled to it because at the end of the day, Jeffree is literally swimming in wealth. And I think it kind of just seems like Jeffree was holding the relationship hostage with the stuff and the money and the lifestyle that he had given, which is probably another reason why it took Nathan so long to actually end it and move on, because he didn't know how he could separate himself from it because their lives had become so intertwined as Jeffree made millions and millions and millions. Potentially Nathan's point of view of this situation is Jeffree has, 8 cars in his garage. He has a big, beautiful mansion where people live with him and has this luxurious lifestyle. And so why shouldn't Nathan then be entitled to some of the things that they purchased together, made decisions for together, like the house in Michigan. Not necessarily the cars, like, that's whatever. So I think Nathan feels an entitlement to those things because he was there for the journey. And again, I don't think the love was unreal. I don't think the relationship was unreal. I think Jeffree might convince himself that it was now that Nathan's moving on because he's angry and hurt and lost because all he wanted was Nathan. There were things lacking in the relationship, which I won't speculate on because every relationship is obviously different, but there must have been things lacking in the relationship that the money and the lifestyle were no longer making up for. And Nathan felt the need to move on, which we can't blame him for that. It's very human. Granted, I feel like very, very few people would ever have a similar experience to Nathan. So who are we to bash him and to just take Jeffree's side when Jeffree is known to manipulate the media and manipulate the way we perceive him? Because at the end of the day, he's had scandal after scandal after scandal, and he's been able to pick himself up from those things because of the way he is and because of the power he holds in his voice and how authentic he sounds. It's hard not to believe someone when they say something with that much conviction and when they believe their truth wholeheartedly till the end. So yeah, I don't know, that's my 2 cents. I doubt anyone will see this, but I kind of just wanted to put it out there anyways. As things unfold, I will get to see where it kind of goes and if I'm right in any of these things or what happens. But again, it's all speculation and just something I am literally filming, and I'm going to edit it right now and post it. So